So good afternoon, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just jump straight in. Ever since I've had political consciousness, Italy's political scene has been fairly or unfairly, somewhat distinct to me. I remember Berlusconi's Bunga parties and Beppe Grillo's five-star movements. Now, it's true that nowadays we're drinking somewhat of a different political cocktail in Western Europe, but both the Bunga parties and the five-star movement's creation and success were quite different back in the day, something quite distinct. Little did we know that a member of one of these parties, namely Giorgia Meloni, would go on to start her own party. She was a member of Forza Italia and gained notoriety in Italy as Berlusconi's youth minister. She went on to leave her Bunga loving boss, like we said, to create I Fratelli d'Italia. Now, when this party started, it was somewhat of a fringe party in the country. But it absolutely is not a fringe party anymore. And that is indeed why we're going to talk about it this evening. The party was founded on the 17th of December, 2012. And like Salvini's La Lega party, it is against illegal immigration, and it is staunchly in favour of law and order, the police, and the so-called traditional family. Meloni's staunch position on these aspects has allowed her to become a leading figure of the far right in Italy. The party strongly favours bolstering and strengthening the traditional family, like we said. They want to increase birth rates, and in turn, their aim is to reduce the reliance on foreign workers in the country. They wish to scrap birthright citizenship and impose a naval blockade to curb and potentially completely halt illegal immigration from the south. The fact that these measures are so popular might seem a bit strange to somebody from somewhere else in the Union, and I'm not in any shape or form advocating this lady's manifesto, but I might just point out that it is easier to judge than to understand, and the root causes behind the flourishing of such a manifesto, namely the lack of proper European Union solidarity on some of the terms addressed therein, could indeed be dealt with more efficiently. In any case, how popular is Meloni and her party? Here's where things get a bit interesting. Because in 2018, the party was polling at a mere 3 percentage points, give or take, depending on the week. In just 3 years, they increased their support almost 7-fold and now stand at a firm 20 percentage points. They are currently just ahead of La Lega in the country, which makes them the most popular political party in Italy. Many people attribute this popularity with the fact that the party is the only party that is not in government in Italy or not supporting the government in Italy at the moment. Mario Draghi, whom you may remember from ECB fame, can currently rely on support from every party in Italy apart from I Fratelli d'Italia. That is not, there's no need to point out, a very common thing at all. As such, the party have invariably monopolized the voice of the opposition, which gives them an incredible amount of exposure. And you can accuse them of what you will, but you can't say that they lack foresight. That was a very clever political move. And now, considering the fact that Italian politics can be entertaining and explosive, more entertaining, more entertaining than other political systems, let's say, we can expect to see a change in direction. The pandemic seems to be coming to an end, more or less, and the disbursements of Next Generation EU funds are more or less dealt with. So what's likely is that we're going to have a conservative bloc emerge, led rather by I Fratelli d'Italia, along with Forza Italia and La Lega, which could very well take the reins of Italy. I spent a few months in Italy over the past few years, and I was lucky enough to spend quite some time in a lovely town in the mountains, not far from Reggio Emilia in the north, where a friend of mine and her partner have a restaurant. There are many people, many clientele in the restaurants that are there every day from when it opens almost until when it closes. Many of these people are disenfranchised, unemployed youth, and there also are a fair amount of lonely middle-aged men lamenting misogyny. Lamenting a misogyny that, bizarrely, Miss Meloni seems to be implicitly promoting. The reality for many people, unfortunately, right now in Italy, is that they are somewhat crestfallen. They feel disappointed with the economic perspectives that lay before them, something that is compounded by the reality that the economic perspectives of their previous generation were far more lucrative. And it wasn't too far in the past that Italy had this economic boom and purchasing power was much higher. So, considering the fact that populism has managed to really gain ground in the country, I think there are lessons to be learned. If we look to the north, across the channel, where our friends and many of my family live, things don't seem to be going too well after what happened a few years ago. And I think we could all pay heed to Italy and learn some lessons, and to try in some way curb the toxic populist wave that seems to be taking a hold across the continent. Thank you very much.